I'm Shua, and you are listening to Light Up with Shua, a weekly podcast to open our hearts and minds on a journey with me. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Thank you for taking our time. And so tell me briefly about yourself. What do you do? Who you are?
All right. My name is Fatima Masood, and I have 3 daughters, and alhamdulillah, all 3 of them married. The most recent one just got married 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I have 1 granddaughter, and I have been in the education field for the past 15 years. I helped start up an Islamic School in Old Bridge, New Jersey about 9 years ago, and we started off with 36 students, and by the time I left there were 120 students. It was a very good experience for me because I learned the do's and do nots of establishing an institution, and unfortunately I had to leave, but again I got an opportunity to join another institution with 600 children, so that's a new job that I've started. On the side, I do a lot of charity work. I'm very passionate about it. I feel that being a part of the society, we need to give back and we need to do our bit in society by ways of making care bags for homeless people, providing, we're making sandwiches and giving food to homeless people or to food pantries, collecting groceries and donations for the refugees that have come in, and working with different groups to help them get established here. I've adopted a faith-based church, a Baptist church, where we provide groceries every 2 months, and they in turn provide food for the people around them who are very poor and who need help. So it's been a lot of these activities that's being done. And, we, as a group, we collect money. And if there's any families who need some financial help, we try to give them a monthly stipend. So this has been happening, on and off. And we hope to continue establishing it on a more permanent basis.
Wow.
So
good luck with all what you're doing. Thank you very much for that. So, any feedback from your children? What you have done good or not, and what can we learn from you as a parent?
I think because my childhood was very tumultuous, it was like a roller coaster. Mm-hmm. I always had this dream and passion that I will give them a steady and stable life. And I think, alhamdulillah, with my husband, we both had the same goal to give them that kind of a life. And we were actually established in one place. For me, it was like I was running from one country to another, so it was very hard. So, and making friends and adjusting to every kind of a culture. So for my kids, we all set our roots here in Marlboro. So
Marlboro, New Jersey.
And it's a diverse population of Jewish people, Christians, Hindus, Muslims. And from the very young age, my children, we got them exposed to every kind of a culture. They wanted to they had friends of all different faiths, and they were allowed to go to different events like bar mitzvahs and any baptisms or anything that, any other things that they had from different faiths events. And I let them go to give them that exposure to, and I think that really helped them, And
help them in what ways?
It helped them to realize what they have in their faith, and that we were not rigid. And don't. I remember when I was growing up, don't go there, don't go here, don't do this, don't do that.
Don't go here. There means into other faith.
It was a combination of things. It was very sheltered life.
Okay.
And we wanted to give them a very open life so that they can experience every kind of life experiences. So we gave them that opportunity, and I think they've always felt blessed about it. They always say that it was really good for us to experience,
So they do give you that?
Yes, they do. They feel that, it was a really good experience. We, would take them on trips from a very young age, show them things, be connected with families. I would always have events with different families for the sake of my kids. And just, be there. My husband was always there with them as well, making sure that if they could come to him for anything and everything.
Excellent.
And we always had this, that don't lie to us. If you have to go anywhere, just let us know. We don't want to hear it from any third person that, oh, we saw your daughter there. Or so if you're coming late, just let us know that, we're going to so-and-so. That kind of trust built was very essential in their upbringing. And then, just giving them that normal life, it really helped. And I feel like they ended up being good, very productive, women. And we gave them the option to choose their spouses. We were not like, oh, you can't talk to boys, or, which a lot of people were doing at that time, that don't talk to boys. We said, you need to talk to boys and need to. So not just on a level of getting to know them, but as a level of, professionalism or in any aspect of it. So we never stopped that. So in that way, that's how they learned to choose their spouses. And we gave them that option from a very young age. And alhamdulillah, they chose amazing people. And
so they all are Muslims?
They're all Muslims.
What if they had chosen some other faith?
I guess in their upbringing, we kind of, gave them that option that, listen, if you meet anybody. The reason why we wanted that was because later on in their life, they would have had issues where they could not have dealt with if there were other faiths, maybe, or maybe not. So they just were so comfortable, in meeting people within their faith for that aspect of it.
So they were well grounded in their own faith, I guess.
Yes. And if they had chosen, if they had chosen, obviously we would have, our mindset may have changed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we gave them that confidence that they could meet people.
Your honesty.
So.
That's good. That's good. Did they ever brought anybody or mention anybody who was not from Muslim faith? Or
no, they didn't. No, okay. I guess, again, because their surroundings was always filled with, I guess, their same, the same people that they met. They didn't feel a need to go out.
So I guess, how were you growing up with, you spent so much more time with them, both of you, when they were growing up?
We did. My husband,
sure that you
yes,
were there
my husband worked literally 5 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
So it was a blessing. He was home by 5:15.
Oh, wow.
All right. And I was also home initially. And then when I started my schooling, I had to go back to college to get my degree. We made it in such a way that he would be home to take care of them. And then, again, we would make trips out of the state to visit family. Any wedding, we were always there attending. We'd drive 14, 15 hours. That was our good time. So we made it a point to attend every wedding, whoever we had in our family. Within the community, I organized a lot of events just to keep them busy, just to make them feel that they were not left out, or we didn't do this, or we just make sure that the kids had a lot of activities to do throughout their life.
Excellent. So when you had 3 daughters, no son. So did your daughters ever felt that did you ever express to them like, oh, wish we had a son also, or were you very happy with the daughters?
We were very, I
so
think
they're confident.
They're confident. Yeah. And I guess I never had that also. I always wanted girls. I mean, I wanted healthy children. That's all. For me, it was never an issue that it's a boy or a girl. It was always healthy. And that was basically, it was never an issue.
Excellent. So did you learn when they were growing up, or now they're adults? Do you learn from your children, or are you the type of person like, better?
No, my children, I think, I'm amazed at the way they've handled their life and the way their experiences of choosing their spouses, of the rationality of how they chose, their spouses. I'm very much impressed.
Give some example, so we can learn from them, how did they reach this I guess, decision, like how one should choose a spouse?
Let's say,
Like they're young.
I'll give an example. Like, I remember my daughter had one or two, prior to who she married, one or two other young gentlemen approached her, and she did get to know them. This happened to both my daughters. And she realized that the family dynamics were not the same as ours, meaning that the religious point of view may have been really extreme. So, or they had maybe too liberal, and we're kind of in the middle ground.
Okay.
So they realized that, and I was like, wow.
very nice.
So they made that decision that I don't think, we'd be a good match down the road. So they ended it.
They were doing all this by themselves.
Yeah, they did it.
But they shared with you.
Actually, later on, I got to, because I did know that they were talking to so-and-so. And then I said, later on, what happened? Why did you? And then they said, Mom, you know what? I don't think that, we are going to be that compatible. We need to find a common ground. So it's good. I let them talk. I let them see. I let them see firsthand, who the people are, what kind of people are. So they made those choices and decisions, which helped them in that long run. My younger daughter, the same thing she did was she had met another guy, very mashallah, amazing guy, but their family life was very, 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 very religiously hardcore. So we realized, she said that I don't think it's going to be a good match for her and for the family. So
that's very good to know who they are. And
exactly. So they were lucky and to be given that choice,
I guess. So do you think that you being relaxed and trusting them made a huge world of a difference in their outlook at life and choosing their spouse and living their life?
Yes, because my younger daughter, I let her go to Turkey to go and teach. And that's where she found, he's not Turkish, he's from Long Island, but that's how they met mutually. And by giving them that worldly experience of letting them go out different countries, I did let them go. They went with my sister and travels and different places. So it really kind of helped them, appreciate their country, their family, their
trust themselves,
everything. Everything
basically
about it.
Trusting their judgment, their decisions.
So by giving them those opportunities, it really, really helped.
So. Okay, that's good. So you have given your daughters the trust that you think parents should do, whether they're girls or boys. And
have that open conversation, have that they can come to you and talk to you about any issue.
Okay, good. Excellent. What about, so I was thinking about asking you, so you're an active listener. Did you listen to your children? Do you think that was part of it, or were you not a good listener?
We were always interested in whatever they had to tell us.
So you did listen to them?
Yes.
Instead of talking over them or talking to
we were always listening to whatever, interesting things that they did and, all their experiences that they had. If there was a daily school thing, we were interested to hear, because there was a lot of things we did not grow up here. I mean, I did not, and even my husband. So we wanted to hear what kind of a mindset that they were dealing with, in the high schools and college.
Okay. So do you think listening is important?
Oh yes, that's because they feel that.
Why is it important?
Because you're giving them the opportunity to express their feelings, to, and not just always talking over them and giving them, instructions and everything. So I feel like, not, being, how would I say that word? That you're not always badgering them or nagging them, but you're there to listen to whatever the issues.
So you were not like the person okay, I told you do this. I told you do this.
I mean, to a certain extent, to a certain extent. But again, it's between me and my husband. We both were playing the roles. Maybe I would have to do something and he would do it in a different way. But we both had a mutual understanding.
Excellent. That's good. Excellent. All right. So, what about thinking? Did you teach them how to think, or do you think that the schools teach children how to think?
I think it's a combination of both. By giving them that stable home environment, stable community environment, family environment, and then the school as well, giving them, it's a combination of both. That's in my opinion.
Did your children always felt safe with you? Like safe in terms of sharing, safe physically? Yes. Do you feel that they, like I don't want to get into your parenting because I can understand from your tumultuous, as you mentioned,
right,
that did you ever, because if you were insecure or felt unsafe with your own, because parents are the most,
right,
we assume that they are the people who are the most secure and safest to be with. So did your children ever have that feeling?
No, they didn't, because my goal was to be everything that I did not have.
Okay.
So I always wanted to make sure that I went above and beyond to give them. That was something my husband was like, you're always providing them with everything and anything. And I'm like, well, I didn't have it as I was growing up, or I was a struggle for me, and I don't want my kids to struggle.
So you were conscious of it?
Oh, yes.
Very conscious.
Very conscious of it. I always wanted them to be best dressed. I wanted them to have anything and everything. I think that's why they appreciate it more.
So you're an educationist, and do you find that what contributes into children's depression and these behaviors that no parent would want their children to go through, but then they do?
I think that the depression part is like, what kind of environment you're giving at home? Are you spending enough time with them? Are you giving, it's giving them the access to all the best out there, but at the same time showing them that it's not just giving it to them. They have to earn it too. And I feel like these days parents are giving too much without them appreciating it. Appreciation is so they have to appreciate it too, as well. That wire and giving them everything on a silver platter. So I think that's one thing that we need to make the children understand. And the other thing is, I feel like again, sacrifice. If you really need the money, then at a very young age, husbands and wife both have to go out to work. But if you can sacrifice, I think that initial years that the kids are going to school, to be there at home. Because those kids, I worked in a facility where I was a before care and after care, and I saw those kids being dropped off at like 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock and come at 6, 7 o'clock. Sure. And it just broke my heart that, but sometimes, it's because of whatever reasons they have. I'm not here to judge, but it used to break my heart that if those kids are not getting that love and that nurturing, I feel is done in the first 5-6 years.
So you were there for your children?
I was there. Yes, we didn't have a lot of things, but you know what? For us, materialistically, we didn't want that. We wanted, my husband could have gone out and gotten a lot more money working different, but he chose his first 18 years of life to be close by, even though he got less money. Because for him, I don't want to give them it, but I want to be there to nurture them and give them whatever I can. So that's the main, I think, thing that we feel.
So, do you believe that you are a source of, or only a source that through whom children are born, or do you feel that you own them?
I don't think we are in this world to own anything.
Nice.
I don't think that, no, we don't own anything. It can be taken away from us, Any situation in life can be taken away so I don't think...
So you feel that you're just a source and
we are the facilitator.
Okay.
We're a facilitator to provide them whatever we can, being love, nurture, as they're growing up financially, to give them whatever we need.
Because I'm asking this because parents tend to control their children in every form and shape, and we want to be very, decision makers for them. And in the process of thinking that we're caring, we just make them our slaves, and we just want to control every aspect of life. Not all, but sometimes.
We never did that. Even the education process, we gave them the option. As a typical Desi parent, every Desi parent wants that, I wish our child could go into medicine. But then the kids would say, well, we're not every parent, and we have our choices to go in whatever we want. So, I don't feel like that's something that, we're not controlling them,
By Desi, I'm sorry, I'm going back. You meant the South Asian.
Yes,
because our audience might not know.
It's a South Asian Indian, community, either doctors or engineers, and that's the only way. And then these children say, well, we should be given choices, and we gave them, even though we had to pay money, but we gave them choices.
Good. What is the value of gratitude in your life?
I feel like I am grateful to anything and everything that I was given, and every aspect of my life. Even I look at everything that's happened, the mistakes I've done, I take it as a gratefulness because I've learned from those mistakes.
Have you instilled this attitude in your children? Do you see they are thankful or great? They have.
I think they are. They're learning to be. I think they are. I've always told them that anything that's happened good in your life, make sure that you give in charity, that you give a blessing in charity. That's something that's I'm installing them in their, that any little thing that's good and happening, make sure you give back, because every blessing is being grateful. So whether it's a bad thing that's happened in life, be grateful. It must have.
So do they agree, talk, argue about it, or do they show through their actions about what you're talking about?
They agree. They agree. Again, some things have happened. Tragedies of some form or the other happen, and instead of taking it in a negative way, they've learned to take it in a positive way. That was, I think, again, I'm grateful for that. And that too is because I've had good people around me.
Excellent.
Having good role models, positive people around me to make us feel that way. So
what kind of people?
Good friends, good family to support us, to be there in our time of needs. In tragedies, we've had other people face certain things in their lives, so we were there, and that's how they learned. So certain things in our lives, this couple of years as they were growing, they got an opportunity to face, and that's how they learned. So I think I'm always grateful that God put that to us. So that's how they learn to be more empathetic. That they're not just the only ones. There are other people that are going to suffer, and they have to learn how to deal with those sufferings.
Do you think empathy can be taught?
Empathy can be taught. Empathy should be shown, in my opinion. Until unless they don't see, you can't teach it. I feel like you have to show it to them. You have to have them experience it. Again, by taking them to India, by taking them, they had an opportunity to travel to Palestine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and different countries. So by seeing things that are going on in these places, they learned to be more grateful of what they have. That how they have, the way their lives are being, taken for, how their lives are. So I feel like giving them worldly experiences, even a TV is not going to help, but actually going and stepping out and showing it to them, I think it really made a difference. When they went to India, they see so many people out on the streets, they see the servants, and they're like, why, so it's locally here by, home shelters or homeless. They need to see that and feel it and realize, or if somebody's sick, they need to learn, how to cope with it and how to, be a support system, so.
Well, you're a good role model there. I'm sure they will see you doing all these good things that you're doing, whether it's soup kitchens or food pantries or NGOs that you're helping. So I am sure that they are, seeing that. So that's very good. Did I ask you? Not yet, I think. What is the value of time? No, I think. Yeah. What is the value of time for you?
Oh, God, I'm very particular about time. If somebody tells me you need to be there at 6 o'clock, and that's where I think, biggest issue with my kids are, Mom, you have to, nobody's going to get there by 6, you have to, but I'm very respectful about that. So for me, time is very, very essential. Everything should be happening on time. And
from that angle. Okay.
Yeah. But
so there is another angle of time which is not renewable and it's not going to come back.
Make the most of your time, whatever you're doing, because whatever attributes or acts that you're performing, make the most of it, I feel.
So you're a Desi from India and you are on time?
I am. I'm so particular about it. Really? I don't know.
Never reach late.
This is my biggest problem with my children. Like they say, Mom, do it. And nobody will get there. I said, I don't care, but I'm going to get there. Okay. So
especially in Asian gatherings.
Yeah, okay. I feel like everything has to be done on time. Yeah.
So what have you found so far? What is the purpose of your life?
The purpose of my life is that do the best you can, learn from your mistakes. You're always going to be making mistakes. Take that as a positive and not take it as a negative. And make it into a positive experience. And be empathetic towards all situations that people are in. Don't be judgmental. And do the best you can, because you are here for a purpose. It's not just about, being at home, and it's not just about me. It's about, even those around you. I think that's what makes me feel more confident, that I feel like I need to be a role model for my children, for my family, and for my community. I have to take that upper step to, I know that not everybody has a capability of taking that step of doing it. So I feel, okay, God's given me that ability, so let me step up to the plate and take that and do it and organize it or give them that opportunity. So if I do any act or a charity, or I just make sure that everybody is a part of it, they know about it. And if they want to come, that's up to them. But I just want to make sure that they are given the message. Nice. And it's not just about me knowing about it. So I love to do that, sharing. And again, I think philosophy is like, and this is an Islamic philosophy too, that what you want for yourself, you want for others. So you want to make sure that everybody is a part of that, act of charity or sharing or caring.
Excellent. What would you do differently today if you knew that there was no tomorrow?
What would I do? What would I do? God, that's such a very philosophical and very high-ended question. I don't know. Again, all those things, the negative things that happen in my life, I would just want to make sure that I didn't do it and I did it more in a better way. But
you have only short time, so what would you do?
What would you do? I would just make sure that I carry on, what my passion is, and make it, give it the best I can within my ability, if I can do it. I'm not sure I can. I'm only one person, whatever capability God has given me. But I feel like if I can do it, I will do it. If I can't, I can't. So,
okay. Any message of hope? What would you like to give?
Message of hope. I feel like there is always hope out there. You have to never feel in despair. Sometimes we all feel like there's nobody out there and nobody cares, but alhamdulillah, I feel like there are people out there who do care. You just have to be able to reach out to them and have the right people around you. And just, and then again, it's not just about you reaching out. You should also reach out to them or help them out too. Figure out people around you who have issues and have problems and be able to be a part of their lives and help them out. Maybe they may not say it to you directly, but try to feel it and assess that, they may need that kind of a moral support and moral help. That's in my opinion. Hope.
So coming to the last question, what lights you up?
What lights me up? My granddaughter.
Oh, nice. What lights up? How does she light you up?
I think it's the way she smiles, the way all her little things. It's amazing that I feel like I never enjoyed my kids when they were growing up. I was like very, I guess, I feel like I've forgotten what I did or how I did it with them. And I feel like, oh my God, it's a rejuvenation of, me being that mommy kind of figure for her. So for me, she's like my light,
Nice.
So that's my biggest...
keeps you going, huh?
Keeps me going. It really does. I feel like God's given me her for a purpose, and I love it. And I look forward to every Snapchat I see of her or any pictures or anything, and it's just,
So you're social media mom, my grandma.
Yes, I am. I had to learn how to do Snapchat and all these. I have to still do Instagram.
Excellent.
I'm not into Instagram or Twitter. I have to learn all that, but that's enough, I think, for me.
Well, you need to learn how to subscribe to my podcast.
Inshallah, I will. I will. I'm still learning. Okay, what is it? So this is amazing to be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shua. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for staying with me through this exciting episode. Please don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode of Light Up with Shua.